So, at a recent family gathering, I was talking to a few friends of my uncle's about the election last year, the Canadian one, not the one that just happened over in U.S. I don't give a fuck, with some other generic politics and stuff. And I began to notice a pattern when it came to talking about the left side of the political compass. They seemed to believe that I was a right winger because I didn't support PC bullshit. Remember, guys, teach men not to rape. Don't take responsibility for yourself. Anyways, so that's why I'm making this video. The idea that the regressive left is somehow representative of liberals or the rest of the left is not one that's really that uncommon in many circles, and I'm not just talking about the far right, like alt-right bullshit. I'm talking about through anywhere in the compass, whether you're an authoritarian, libertarian, left, right, blah, blah, blah. You know, anywhere on there. Anyways. Ironically, though, even the regressives themselves think that they're liberals, and you'll see why that's stupid later in the video. Anyways, so with that brief intro out of the way, let's get into the meat of this, and answer the question at hand. Is the regressive left a representation of liberals and liberal values? If you have a non-indoctrinated brain, then you probably know the answer already. Which, for morons who don't know, you got three options here. You got three. You got 1 in 3 chance of this. You got either A, yes, B, no, C, maybe. Well, if you guessed anything other than B, then you should stick around and just keep an open mind. And you might actually learn something. Now, before I start Lib-Splaining this, we need to get some definitions down. So first off, what is a liberal? Using the Oxford Dictionary, it's defined as a person of liberal views. Yeah, don't come on with the, oh, it's just a dictionary definition, you're using that as a straw man like the feminists always do, the feminazis always do. Because, you know, they say, it's about equality, guys. Meanwhile, we're trying to change the system so women get priority over men. Anyways, so, person of liberal views. So then that now begs the question, what are liberal views? For this, I'm going to refer to the Encyclopedia Britannica, and since it's fairly long, I'm only going to read the relevant sections regarding liberal values and the basic idea behind it. The full description will be in the the full article will be in the description. Totally aced that. I aced that line there. I aced it. Perfect. Liberalism is a political doctrine that takes protecting and enhancing the freedom of the individual to be the central problem of politics. Liberals typically believe that government is necessary to protect the individuals from being harmed by others, but they also recognize that the government itself can pose a threat to liberty. As the revolutionary American pamphleteer Thomas Paine expressed it in Common Sense, government is at best a necessary evil. Laws, judges, and police are needed to secure the individual's life and liberty, but their power may also be turned against him. The problem, then, is to devise a system that gives the government the power necessary to protect the individual liberty, but also prevents those who govern from abusing that power. The problem is compounded when one asks whether this is all that a government can or should do on behalf of individual freedom. Some liberals, the so-called neoclassical liberals or libertarians, answer that it is. Since the late 19th century, however, most liberals have insisted that the powers of government can promote and protect the freedom of the individual. According to modern liberalism, the chief task of government is to remove obstacles that prevent individuals from living freely or from fully realizing their potential. Some obstacles include poverty, disease, discrimination, and ignorance. The disagreement among liberals over whether government should promote individual freedom rather than merely protect it is reflected to some extent in the different prevailing conceptions of liberalism in the United States and Europe since the late 20th century. In the United States, liberalism is associated with the welfare state policies of the New Deal program of the Democratic administration of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, whereas in Europe, it is more commonly associated with a commitment to limited government and economic policies. General characteristics. Liberalism is derived from two related features of Western culture. The first is the West's preoccupation with individuality, as compared with the emphasis in other civilizations on status, caste, and tradition. Throughout much of history, the individual has been submerged in and subordinate to his clan, tribe, ethnic group, or kingdom. Liberalism is the culmination of developments in Western society that produced a sense of importance on human individuality. A liberation of the individual from complete subservience to the group, and a relaxation of the tight hold of custom, law, and authority. In this respect, liberalism stands for the emancipation of the individual. Underlying the liberal belief in adversality is the conviction that human beings are essentially rational creatures capable of settling their political disputes through dialogue and compromise. This aspect of liberalism became particularly prominent in 20th century projects aimed at eliminating war and resolving disagreements between states through organizations such as the League of Nations, the United Nations, and the International Court of Justice. Rights. The third part of the solution followed from liberalism's basic commitment to the freedom and integrity of the individual, which the limitation of power is, after all, meant to preserve. From the liberal perspective, the individual is not only a citizen who shares a social construct with his fellows, but also a person with rights upon which the state may not encroach if majoritarianism is to be meaningful. A majority verdict can only come about if individuals are free to some extent to exchange their views. This involves, beyond the right to speak and write freely, freedom to associate and organize, and above all, freedom from fear of reprisal. But the individual also has rights apart from his role as a citizen. These rights secure his personal safety and hence his protection from arbitrary arrest and punishment. Beyond these rights are those that preserve large areas of privacy. In a liberal democracy, there are affairs that do not concern the state. Such affairs may range from the practice of religion to the creation of art and the raising of children by their parents. For the liberals of the 18th and 19th centuries, they also included most of the activities through which individuals engage in production and trade. Eloquent declarations affirming such rights were embodied in the British Bill of Rights, the U.S. Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the French Declaration of Rights of Man of Citizen, and the basic documents of countries throughout the world that later used these declarations as their models. These documents and declarations asserted that freedom is more than the right to cast a vote in an occasional election. It is the fundamental right of the people to live their own lives. So with that short description out of the way, I'm going to shorten this down even more into a list that we're going to come back to later in the video. So, basic liberal values based on that. I've made one of the most cancerous things on the internet, a top 10 list. So, top 10 liberal values. Freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom to assemble and protest, valuing the individual, equality of opportunity, being against collectivism, being against discrimination, seeing people as who they are and not what they are. The state should have no influence in personal business, as long as you're not, like, running a child sex ring like Pizzagate. P.S. I don't think Pizzagate was real. Freedom from cruel and unusual punishment or arrest, without good reason. Now that we have those basic 10 principles down, let's compare this to some of the famous regressives. Humongous what? No, we're not going to cover that one. And keep in mind that actions speak louder than words. So if they say they want equality, but then force in a system that says that they want to get more people in the workplace of a certain group, well, we're going to prioritize that over someone else. That's equality, because some people are more equal than others. So, if they're going to do that, you know which to believe. In case you're a moron, actions. Yeah, those speak louder than words.
Why there's factories overseas? Control. You don't know I have done my research. I've done my research. He wants to deport. Yes, he wants to deport Mexicans. He wants to make Muslims wear identification. So he wants to follow the law. Yes, look at all the fucking. So then you didn't support the white people. That's not a fucking issue compared to the black people that are gunned down every single day by police. Gunned down. What have you done to benefit this planet? No, explain to me how Trump is like Hitler. Hey, Mass abortion.
The list would be shorter. Trump wants
This country was founded on immigration. Illegal immigration. You've never experienced oppression in your entire fucking life. Neither have I. You're fucking a white male. You're a white man.
White people don't know what it's like to be poor.
That's right. Bullshit.
That's what Bernie Sanders said. That's what Bernie Sanders said. No. Yeah, you did. So again.
Oh, it's the militarization of police.
You can tell you up here.
The white guys are right. I am a fucking punk.
Hey, it's my buddy Aid Skrillex. It's good to see you again, buddy. How's it going? I heard that music career of yours is really taking off. Anyways, let's see how you did. It's not very good. Let's see. Nope. No. Not following the individual. You're seeing people as a collective. See, you think it's hard to discriminate against people based on superficial characteristics. And, you know what? Of course, you can't forget about this. You're fucking a white male! Boom! God, that line never gets old for me. Anyway, so let's see. You kept 6 out of 10. And as I've stated before, you kinda need a 10 out of 10 to pass, so you failed. Who's next?
Okay. Well, as you can see, the opponents of free speech are capable of making a lot of inarticulate noise.
On the Nazi presence at your protest. The presence of Nazis and white supremacists assaulting people at your protest. Do you have any comment on that?
Yeah, I don't like Nazis.
Then why
Were they here? Well, how can I answer
are there views in alignment with yours? At some point, you
I
have to
think that's
realize.
a foolish question. Look, if you want to know what my views are,
I've watched all of your videos. Yes,
including
yes, I have.
Alright, back at University of Toronto in 2016. The worst year ever. Anyways, this time we have the non-binary trans-trenders coming to screw your day up. And our special guest, Jordan B. Peterson, here to respond. So, let's see how they did. Nope. No freedom of speech. Literally bringing white noise into this. Assembly, nope, they rioted. What else you guys? Calling them all with Nazis, that's not good. Seeing all of them as a group, yep. Man, everyone's just getting these 60s this time. You kind of failed again. Oh, let's see if our last one can do any better.
Come on, guys. Couple more steps. Don't worry about him. Couple more steps. Couple more steps. You guys got it. Let's go.
You don't have to push people. You don't have to push people. They're because you're moving closer to them. Right, because I'm still allowed to be right there. Okay. Yes, but you cannot push them to move closer. They're standing still. I'm not going to push them.
You need to back up if you're with the media.
You're with the media, you gotta back up behind those signs. That's what those signs
You
say.
need to back up, respect the students now.
I am a student.
I do my job.
They have asked you to respect their space. Move
These students are walking forward. This is the direction that we are walking.
You're pushing me. They're pushing me.
They'll talk to you.
Everyone stop my mouth. Don't talk to me.
All right, don't push me.
Yo.
I'm not pushing you.
Okay, well then we will just block you.
You need to step out of here now. You need to go.
Mizzou, home of the fabled Twilight Studies professor who called for people to be removed in the public place and got charged for third-degree assault. I remember this video back when it first came out. So good. Anyways, on to the scores. Since it's university, let's see how you did. No freedom of speech allowed in here. Not talking, just pushing you away. No freedom of the press. Literally telling them to be pushed away and shouting them to get out. The press isn't allowed here because fuck you, you oppressive shitlord. Anyways, and not letting people assemble around unless you're part of the group. In that case, go ahead. Oh wow, we actually got a 7 out of 10. That's better than the first 3, but that's still fail. So yeah, we're gonna have to send you back to class. Although I don't know if their class is gonna be there anymore. We know their attendance rate's just dropping. But to be honest, they probably might have gotten down like maybe to 2 out of 10, or not even 2 out of 10, like 1 out of 10 if we showed all the footage from this event. But this is just some of the ones that are more memorable. Alright, that was it for all ours, and we can see that, yeah, they're really not doing that good, are they? Now, after going through those examples, you can see the contrast for what they're doing and what liberal values are. So, they're not supporting liberal values, being actively against it, using, in some cases, authoritarian tactics, despite saying otherwise. Most of these examples are social justice warriors, so they're going to be on the very, very far end. But some of the other ones, like not necessarily Big Red or whatever, she's obviously the social justice warrior in that video. But the group behind them, that's when I'm talking about. Those are the typical regressives. They're the plebs that are the ones that keep getting the left conflated with them. So, they still follow a similar pattern behavior, and that's what's important to do. Alright, that's going to be it for this video. I hope this sheds some light on the subject. And insert generic vlogger outro lines. Good night, and SK out.